Hey guys, I am Anthony. Thanks for watching Signal.
And I'm Samia. Now we have some very unique stuff. Anthony, do you dive?
Do you mean like diving board diving, or you mean like...
You go to dive bars.
I go to dive bars a lot. I think we're talking specifically about scuba diving here, which is something I do not do, but I've read up on a little bit, and one of the occupational hazards of being a scuba diver is the bends. It's what happens when they ascend too quickly to the surface. It's also called decompression sickness, and so you have to kind of go up very slowly when you're deep in the ocean.
Got it. Now, commercial divers who dive and work at, say, 300 and 450 feet have to actually make decompression stops of 2 hours or more to avoid getting sick. So, you know, when you're sitting underwater in the middle of the ocean for that long, it's like, what do you do to pass time? Yeah. Well, Mark Thurlow and Robin Jacoway are two professional divers who actually bring their Sony Reader Digital Book underwater with them.
Mark and Robin collect deep water marine life samples for a French pharmaceutical company, and they dive all over the world, including the east coast of Africa, Indonesia, and the Caribbean. They actually asked a well-known underwater housing company called Gates to create a special casing for the reader that would protect it at crushing depths. And we've got the actual housing right here. So here's the Sony e-reader, and this is the underwater housing. This thing is intense. You can probably see it's made entirely out of machined metal. It's got all these rubber seals in it to keep it completely sealed from all pressure, you know, and all moisture. This thing is really crazy. You put the whole thing together with these 4 screws and an Allen wrench. Kind of awesome. Now,
what's cool about this reader is that, or with this housing for the reader, is actually that it was custom made for the Sony PRS 300 reader, and it was the only way to make the housing small enough to fit into a dry suit pocket during the dive. So basically, it protects the reader so you can actually take it underwater. The company Gates that made this said the design could actually be adapted for other readers as well. Now, before you guys get ahead of yourselves, the custom housing is unfortunately not commercially available yet. So
I can think of very few occasions when I would need an underwater housing for my reader.
I don't know, maybe you're swimming in your pool and you want to just go underwater and
I am kind of a klutz, so maybe that would help.
Either way, it's really cool. And you know, this company Gates actually makes a number of underwater housing units for a whole bunch of Sony products like the HD video cameras, including the EX1, which we actually use a lot here on Signal. Yeah. So I have an idea. Okay. I think we need to put this to the test. All right. We can't go diving right now, unfortunately. Okay. For now, why don't we just, you know, head over there. We have a tank full of water set up.
All right, let's get right into it.
Do this.
Tank of water.
E-reader, you ready?
E-reader.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. How cool is that?
Very cool. Guys, do not try this at home. Keep in mind, Sony e-reader product line is not waterproof, and using it in water could void the warranty.
There you go. But not on this one. Not with this case on.
Super cool case.
Fun thing about this case, took 6 months to design, right? Because it's not just designed to be waterproof. It's also designed to be pressure proof.
What do you mean?
The deeper you go underwater, the more pressure there is, and it can affect the electronic or even crush and destroy it. So, super tough case here. It's actually made of machined aluminum, black type 3 hard anodized finish, and it's sealed with a nickel acetate process. Ask me what that means.
What does that mean?
I have no idea.
You came off as super geeky.
Thank you.
You came off like you knew what you were talking about. It's the glasses.
Thank you very much. I try. And then the whole thing is operated with these fingertip button controls, the little switches that I showed off over there. So this thing is cool. They're 100% mechanical. There are no electronics in this.
Kind of makes me want to pick up diving.
Yeah, totally, right?
You know
I wish I had some sort of everyday use for this thing. Yeah. I can't think of any reason to keep this thing or hold on to it.
It's like super dope. You're like, the only way I can justify owning this is if I pick up diving.
Look at that, still working. Love it.
Very cool. Well, we want to thank Mark Thurlow and Robin Jacoway for sharing their diving photos with us.
Definitely.
Also, a shout out to Gates for letting us borrow their custom Sony Reader housing. And to watch more Signal by Sony videos, you can always go to sony.com/signal or youtube.com/signal, where you can post a question or a comment.